Hi everyone, I'm Lindsay, and welcome to your No Frills Yin Vinyasa yoga class. And Yin Vinyasa is kind of a style of yoga that is the best of both worlds, I think. The first half is a vinyasa flow that's steady. We move our breath with the poses. The second half of class is yin-like, where we kind of do poses that are on the floor that get into deeper therapeutic yoga stretches. So that first half has a challenge because you're moving. Then the second half, the challenge is holding the poses for a longer time while really getting into unlocking physical and mental tension. But all that to say that even as you go through the practice, I invite you to kind of challenge your comfort zone, but at the same time to cultivate ease through your breath and through the release of your body. And I'm titling this a no frills class because we're not going to do any yoga poses that are super crazy or super weird. I'm not going to invite you to variations where you have to put your arms and legs in different places. You're more than welcome to do that on your own back at home or wherever you're doing this. But other than that, I'll kind of just speak towards the steady, good old yoga poses that we know are tried and true. So go ahead, get your props if you like them. I recommend having something that's like a block or a block, and a strap or something that's like a strap to help you reach to your feet if you need it at any point. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you joining me. Have a great practice. So let's get started in our no frills class for tonight in just good old child's pose. Nothing fancy here. So your knees wide and your big toes to touch, and draw your body weight down towards the floor. Thanks, you guys, and hold there for a couple breaths. And in your child's pose, drop the weight of your elbows to the floor. And let the weight of your forehead center drop to the floor as well. So just feel a nice big release through your body. And as your body gets that release, allow your mind to receive the same benefit. So release the weight of your head, release the weight of your thoughts, and take a moment to allow yourself to just be here in this pose with your breath. And take one more nice, long, steady breath in, followed by an easy, steady breath out. And then take yourself forward into a tabletop on your hands and knees. Good, point your toes back. And on your inhale, you're going to lift your chest and your tail. And on your exhale, you're going to round your back and arch. Good. 3 more times. Inhale to lift your chest and your tail. Exhale, round your back for cat. Inhale, chest and tail up for cow. Exhale, round to cat, tuck your chin. Inhale into cow, soften your eyes. Exhale, round to cat, and hold in your rounded cat for 3. Come back to neutral on your inhale breath, and then curl your toes under. Move your hands forward, downward facing dog. No rush to get there. So in this class, that no rush type of attitude and perspective applies throughout the whole flow. I invite you into a yoga practice where you have a healthy balance of challenge and ease. And putting forth a nice challenge to challenge your edge, maybe pushing a little bit past your comfort zone every now and then, but at the same time cultivating a sense of ease while doing that. Bend both knees a bit. Press your body weight to your legs and really stretch out your calves and your hamstrings. The whole backs of your legs. So with the no frills class, there's nothing too fancy that we're going to do. Just nice, good yoga poses that we'll breathe into, that we'll hold, that we'll feel. No variations that will make you be too pretzel-y, although you can totally take them on your own back at home, even if I don't call them. Good, take a few more breaths here. And as your arms maybe get a little tired, I want you to focus right to them. So press your hands into the mat. Hug your forearms towards each other. And feel that power and the opening across your shoulders and your arms. Good, take your longest inhale here. Followed by your longest exhale out. And then look to your hands and no rush, and I mean that. Walk your feet forward slower than normal. Nice and steady. And slower than normal helps us to reshape our mind so that we can be a little bit more present here tonight. So feet 6 inches apart. Hold onto your elbows, ragdoll. Start by bending your knees a bit, especially if your hamstrings are feeling tight. And then rock a little bit side to side. And this pose is called ragdoll pose. And I want you to feel and embody that. So let your head be loose and raggy. Let your arms be loose as you hold your elbows. Go side to side without much control. And then slowly start to release and hold in the middle. Keep holding your elbows though. Good, feel your feet into the floor. Energetically, your feet are roots, they ground you, they staple you in to this moment. So as you focus on your feet, know that your yoga practice now begins. You are here, the time is now. Good, take 2 more breaths as you let your hamstrings and your back stretch and lengthen. Feel free to straighten your legs more if your chest is close to your thighs. Nice. Drop your hands to the ground, bring your feet close to touch. Bend your knees slightly and take your time to come up to standing. You can bring your hands to your thighs. Sweep your arms up and overhead. Nice deep breath in. And bring your hands down to chest center. Let's start your flow with half salutations. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale and fold all the way down. Halfway lift with your chest forward, inhale. Now hold here, just for this first time in this pose, really lengthen your chest forward. Feel free to bend your knees a little bit here. Good, take 1 more breath, inhale. On your exhale, fold, hands towards the ground, head towards your shins. Good, stay here, feel free to straighten out your legs as much as you can. And then bend your knees, come all the way up to standing, arms to the sky, hands at chest center. Just feel how that changes up your energy, just moving that little bit. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, forward fold, release down towards the ground. Halfway lift on your inhale breath, and forward fold on your exhale. Inhale all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Hands to chest center, exhale. Nice, guys. Now we'll start to move on. Inhale, arms up to the sky, lean back. Hands forward, fold, hands to the ground, exhale. Halfway lift. Breathe in, hands to shins or the floor, then step your right foot back. Lower your back knee down. You're gonna come into Anjaneyasana, arms up, also known as crescent moon. Make steeple hands, pointer fingers go up. Scoop your tailbone under so your pelvis is at neutral. Move your hips forward and down with your pelvis at neutral, meaning you don't want a big back bend like that. Kind of pull your core in, pelvis at center. Now lift your chest, hug your arm bones to your ears, and look back, keeping your arm bones with your ears as you lift your eyes. 3. Nice, guys. 2. Hands to the ground. Exhale, plank pose. Hold on the inhale breath. And then lower your knees to the ground, your chest and your chin so that your hips are up in the air. It's going to feel a little bit awkward, and that's okay. Nice little healthy lower back bend. Now snake your hips back and your chest forward for baby cobra. Hardly use your hands. Take a deep breath in, shoulder blades hug back. Good, downward facing dog. Lower your chin, curl your toes, pull up to go back. Nice. You take your right leg up to the sky as you breathe in. Step your right foot to your hands and lower your left knee to the ground now. Inhale your arms up overhead. Steeple hands with the other hand on top, whatever doesn't feel natural. Once again, pull your low core in and back so your pelvis is at neutral. Keep that as you move your hips forward, and hopefully you feel a really good stretch along the front of your left hip. Inhale, arms hug in. Exhale, lean back. 3, 2. Hands to the ground. Curl your back toes. Step forward to the front. Halfway lift. Inhale. Forward fold when you exhale. Inhale to standing. Hands to chest center. Exhale. Nice. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up overhead. Forward fold, exhale down. We're going to pick up the pace now. Halfway lift, inhale. Left foot back, exhale, left knee down. Good. Inhale, arms up, steeple hands. Look up, lean back. 3. Hug your tailbone under for 2. And then hands to the ground, plank pose when you exhale. Hold on your breath in. Knees, chest, and chin when you breathe out. Hips go back, chest goes forward. Baby cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, curl your toes to get there. Exhale. Nice, guys. Okay, take your left leg up. Inhale, breath. Exhale your left foot forward. Right knee is on the ground. Inhale up, Anjaneyasana, crescent moon pose. Hug the tailbone under, move your hips forward. Yeah, and hopefully get a good stretch on your right hip flexors and quad. Lift your chest, arm bones back, eyes up. 3. Good. Feel how your back bending is getting a little bit more supple every time we do this. Hands to the floor, curl your back toes under, step forward. Halfway to lengthen. Fold to breathe out. Inhale to standing. Hands to chest center, exhale. Good, 2 more times, a little bit faster. Inhale, arms up. Forward fold, but an increased tempo does not mean rushing. Halfway lift, lengthen your back. Right foot back, knee down. Inhale, arms up. It just means less time holding the poses. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, hands down, plank pose, move steady, unrushed. Good, breathe in. Knees, chest, and chin when you exhale. Baby cobra, or straighten your arms more for cobra. Shoulders stay down your back and behind you. Downward facing dog. Exhale, breath. Right leg to the sky as you inhale. Right foot to your hands, knee down, exhale. Good. Arms up, inhale. Pointer fingers high, lean back, back, back. 3, 2, hands to the floor. Curl your back toes, step. Good. Half lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale to standing. Hands, chest center. Last round. Inhale, arms up. Forward fold. Good. 1 breath per movement now. Halfway lift. Inhale. Left foot back. Knee down. Exhale. Arms up. Breathe in. Look back. Hands to the ground. Plank pose. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Lower to the ground. Exhale. Good. Cobra pose or upward dog. Inhale, breath. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg high as you inhale. Left foot to your hands. Exhale, knee down. Arms up, breathe in. Go back, exhale. Hands to the ground. Step forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, breathe out. Inhale to standing, arms high. Hands at chest center. Exhale. Good. Hold here as still as you can with your eyes closed. We'll get to moving your shirt and hair in a moment. Just take 3 steady breaths. Nice. Okay, step your left foot all the way to the back of your mat. Turn to face the side, the left side of your mat, and interlace your hands behind your back. You're going to breathe in and lift your chest high, and then breathe out and start to fold with your arms going overhead. Good. Take a few breaths there. Nice. Last breath, you guys. And then in your wide fold, lower your hands down to the floor, nice and easy. Come into halfway lift. And then bring your hands to your hips. Hold there in a half lift. Try to squeeze your feet towards each other. Squeeze your hips towards each other. Now squeeze your core towards your back. And then stand up slowly with all that steadiness. Good. Turn your right toes forward. Warrior 2 pose. Get nice and low through your legs. Inhale your arms up at shoulder height. And then exhale, sink low. Good. Hold here for 4 breaths. My challenge for you in this no frills version of the pose is just to keep your gaze over your front middle finger for 4 breaths straight. And gaze over your middle finger. No matter how much your mind wants to move your eyes, stay steady. Turn your right palm up, look at your palm, and follow it as you go up into reverse warrior. Keep your eyes towards your top palm as you go back. 3, 2. Good. Extended side angle. Right hand to your block or the floor. Left arm is forward. Inhale, lengthen through your back leg and your left arm. And then exhale, roll your left rib cage to the ceiling. Good. Just hold here. Eyes to the sky. 3. Hug your core muscles in towards your back. Scoop your tailbone towards your back heel. Nice. Drop both hands down to the ground. Good. Step back to plank pose. Nice. Hold here in plank and then lower all the way down to the floor. Come into locust with your legs touching and your hands interlaced behind you. Otherwise, you can just have your palms face the floor. Lift everything up as you lengthen. Lift your legs, hug them towards each other. Lift your chest, keep the back of your neck long. Breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe all the way out. Lift your left leg up to the sky, bend your top knee, turn your hips to face the right wall. And as you do that, press your left heel straight down towards the mat. It might not touch, it doesn't have to. But press in that direction. Good. Straighten your right leg as you inhale. Bring your knee to your nose so you round your back. Press away from the floor, then look to your hands. Step your right foot between your hands. Whew. Good. Come onto your fingertips. Lift your chest forward. Pull your core muscles to your spine. Inhale, crescent lunge. Good. Hands at chest center. Lean over your front leg. Hold here and zip up your back leg straight. Prayer twist to the right. Left elbow over your front thigh. Good modification is to lower your back knee. That'll help with some balance, stability, and strength. Good. Twist over to the right. Stay where you are. Turn your chest to the side wall. Take your right shoulder behind you. Good. Last breath. Steady your eyes to one point. Come back up to crescent lunge, arms overhead. Good, we're gonna work this right thigh muscle. Take a deep breath in, step to chair pose. Try not to take a break, stay nice and low. If you did, come back into it. You're only here for 5. Keep your arms towards your ears and your seat as low as you can, lower than you want to. 2 more breaths. Big inhale together. Stand up, exhale, hands down. Good, palms forward. Close your eyes, stand still in your power. Move your breath nice and steadily. Good. Other side, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Interlace your hands with your other hand on top. Lift your chest, inhale. Forward fold down, exhale. Nice, and then bring your arms overhead as much as you can, that's it. And 3 breaths here. Hug your shoulder blades towards your spinal column. Get the most that you can out of this shoulder opener. Beautiful, lower your hands to the ground. Come into halfway lift, hug your feet towards each other. Hands to your hips, core to your spine, then lift all the way up. Nice. Okay, left toes to the front of the mat. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Good, reach out arm to arm. Check that your back arm is over your back leg. And now that you've done that, breathe in. And then exhale, set your eyes over your front middle finger. And the challenge right now is to keep them there. And steady your eyes to one point. And you take your mind from distraction to direction. And from this meditation of sorts, may you leave this practice feeling more clear and grounded. Reverse back. Watch your top hand. Keep looking to your top palm. 3. Extended side angle. Left hand inside of your foot. Use your block here. It's a really good prop. Right arm is forward and look up to the ceiling. Inhale, press into both feet. Exhale, hug your core in and twist open. Nice. Both hands down to the ground. Step back to plank pose. Hold for your inhale. Lower to the ground. Exhale. Good. Now come into locust. Bend your knee or straighten your legs, interlace your hands, and then draw up just like you did before. Nice. Keep the back of your neck long, the sides of your neck long. Go up with one more rib off the mat if you can. Nice. And then downward facing dog. Exhale, press back. Good. Lift your left leg high. Bend your top knee. Turn your hips so that your hips face towards the left. Your chest is going to try to turn towards the left, but press into both hands as evenly as you can to keep your chest towards the ground. Not perfectly, but just a little bit towards the ground, a little bit of control of that movement through your upper body. Straighten your left leg. Okay, here we go, knee to nose. A lot of work for your arms and core, but step up to that challenge just for 2 breaths. Look to your hands, step your left foot to your hands, pause and breathe. Have your front knee over your front ankle. Inhale your arms up overhead, crescent lunge. Good, hands at chest center, lean over your front leg, straighten your back leg, twist to the left. Good, inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, press in your hands, or press them together to help you with the rotation. Your hands pressing are like leverage for the twist. Last breath. Now keep your front knee bent, lift your arms up overhead. This is meant to be challenging for your legs. Look forward, inhale. Step right into chair pose, Utkatasana. Draw your arms as high up as you can and then hold for 5. Go lower than you want to for 3. Stay in your power. You just have one more breath. Inhale. Stand up, slow, exhale. Palms face forward. Close your eyes. 2 breaths. And lift your arms up overhead. We're about to change gears. Forward fold, slowly towards the ground. Nice, halfway lift. And then step both feet back to plank pose. Take a nice long inhale breath here. Slowly lower to the ground, however you like. Then we're going to go into bow pose here, where you bend your knees and reach for your ankles. But if you want to do one side, you bring your right forearm out in front of you, left foot, left hand, and kick. Okay? We're going to do this twice. So if you do one side, you can do the other. Good. Now kick yourself up if you haven't yet. Done your asana bow pose. 4. Nice. 2. Find your breath. And slowly release without snapping out. Maybe make a pillow for your forehead. Good. Just breathe with a neutral spine. Okay, second round, either switch your sides, left forearm out in front of you, right hand reaches back to your right ankle, or both legs again. Good. Breathe in, use your exhale to kick up. And start to press most of your weight back to your thighs. 5. 2. One more kick. And release. Lower down, forehead to your arms. Let your breath settle. And bring your hands next to your chest. You're going to press up to tabletop pose. Now this is where we're going to change gears to the slower side of the practice, more of the yin side, holding the poses for a longer time.
We go to puppy pose first, and I'll show you a variation. Typically, you'd reach your arms straight out, elbows are lifted, and drop your forehead to the ground. Or if you have blocks or something that could act like this, you can take it a little bit deeper by bringing your triceps, kind of your elbows and your triceps to the block, palms together, and go straight up, and you lower your forehead towards the ground. Good, so if you have blocks, I recommend this. If you don't have blocks, feel free to reach out to me and I can give you some recommendations. If you don't have my contact, just go to yogawithlindsay.com and you'll be able to reach me there. You want your hips over your knees or just a little bit behind them, but it's not a child's pose. So if you're in child's, lift your hips up high. Have your toes point straight back and your knees straight forward, about hip distance apart. The Sanskrit word for this pose is Anahatasana, which translates to heart-melting pose. So I invite you to feel that physical and figurative quality of this posture. And physically allowing the area around your heart, the muscles there to release as if your chest is falling towards the floor. Figuratively, to bring your attention to your heart area, the center of love and self-love and compassion, forgiveness. And 3 more breaths. And slowly start to come up and out of this. Take your time. Good. Move your blocks off if you have them, and you're going to come into downward dog in the next 1 to 3 breaths. Feel free to move around in your tabletop if you'd like to first. From your down dog, step your right foot to your hands. Turn to face the left side edge of your mat. We're going to come into a frog pose. So you're going to lower down one leg at a time onto your forearms and just check that your ankle is behind your knee. You can see how my feet are right behind my knees. They're not in and they're not too far out, so right behind them. Make sure your legs are out as wide as they possibly can be so that you're on your inner knees. If you're on your carpet, this will feel great. If you're on your hardwood, you might be feeling the pressure to your bones. So you can just take the edges of your mat and roll it up to double your mat for extra padding. If it's possible for you, make a pillow with your arms, let your forehead center drop down to them. And if this pose just doesn't feel accessible for any reason, then I recommend coming into Baddha Konasana, which is a seated butterfly with the soles of your feet touching and your knees out wide. And you're here for another 1.5 minutes. Your eyes might bulge out of your head when you hear that, but I've got my watch, so I'll keep you no longer, but also no shorter. And as you hold these poses for the final parts of our practice today. I invite you to breathe in and out a sense of release. What is it that you're releasing? And that could be physical or mental to you, or both. But just ask yourself, what is it here in this pose that I can release? And just a few more breaths. Ungrip your fingers, drum them out, ungrip your jaw, make space. Now, how I recommend to come out of this is to slowly go forward onto your stomach and to slowly straighten each leg at a time. Good. And then press yourself up. No rush still. Swing your legs forward towards the front of your mat. Good. We're going to come into double pigeon pose. You're going to have your right shin at the bottom of your mat, or parallel to the front of your mat. Hold on to your left leg and give it a nice cradle. As you cradle, try to lift your shin towards your chest as much as you can while flexing your left foot so you don't torque your knee. Now place your left ankle on top of your right knee. Scoot your hips to the middle and make sure your right ankle is underneath your knee. This might be too much. You might be leaning back with your knee to your throat. If that's the case, place your foot in front of your knee onto a block or onto the floor. And our 2 minutes in this pose today is all about just letting go again. And what I mean by that is, in these longer holds, you don't want to push to your fullest version immediately. If we are holding for 30 seconds, 5, 6 breaths, I'd encourage each breath to go deeper. But since holding these poses longer target different connective tissues that support your muscles and your bones, then I just recommend going slow. And how to do that is just to every breath at a time, you just ask yourself to release without pushing. Instead, you let your body invite you to the release. So if your body sends you the invitation, you can accept it or not. But if your body doesn't send the invitation, then just hold and breathe. You're already halfway there. Drum out your fingers, ungrip where you can. Ungripping in those subtle areas makes a big difference in our ability to ungrip and to release tension elsewhere in more of the deep-seated areas. Last breath where you are, make it nice and full and easy. And take your time to come all the way up. Nice. Okay, slowly come out of this. That was a deep stretch. Take your time. Bring your legs forward. Stay facing the front of your mat. You're going to go to reverse table. So bend your knees. Fingers face you. Press into your hands and feet. Lift your hips and then make yourself into a table. Scoop your tailbone to the backs of your knees. Look straight up to the ceiling or drop your head back and take 2 breaths. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth and breathe out like you're fogging a window. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. And lower to the ground, nice and slow. Good. Other side. Left shin will be on the bottom, parallel to the front of your mat. Make that adjustment first. And then hold on to your right leg. Make sure to flex your right foot so you don't turn your knee, and give a little cradle as you pull in and up. Just kind of priming your right hip here. And then place your top ankle on top of your knee. Other option is to place it in front of your knee. Align your hips at center. Nice. And your 2 minutes begins now on an effortless journey into a pretty deep stretch of your hips. And again, the effortless journey meaning that there's as little force as possible here. You're letting time and gravity be your assistants. So if you go deeper, it's not because you're really kind of gritting through it and pressing and pushing. You end up going deeper because through the holding of the pose, your muscles relax a bit more. And gravity pulls your upper body closer towards the floor. You're halfway there. And drum out your fingers. Release through your jaw. This guys, just 3 more breaths. See where you can release and let go each exhale you take. Very slowly start to come on out of this, no rush. Lean back to unravel your legs. Same thing as before, reverse tabletop to counter stretch. We were all kind of tight and folding towards our legs. Now we're gonna stretch the front of our body. So feet down, fingers face you. Press up a bit first, and then press all the way to your fullest expression out of your chest and your pelvis. Let your head drop if you're comfortable in 2 breaths. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, fog the window. Last one, inhale. Lower your hips slowly down. Nice. Keep your feet facing the front of your mat. Scoot your hips back. Sit up in staff pose, so this L shape. And then you're going to fold forward into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. This is a good time to use your strap to reach your feet. Also, if you have your block, or even you can roll up a blanket if it's nearby, you can place your block to your legs so your forehead can drop to it, or multiple blocks. Just 1 minute here. Just stretch the back of your body, the back of your legs, your back muscles, especially in your lower back. Forward folding poses like this one are introspective in nature. And folding our upper body towards our lower body, it's like we fold into ourselves instead of being pulled away from ourselves. We take this opportunity to focus within, to observe, to notice, to be present for ourselves. Just kind of slowly take your time, walk your hands back to help press you up. Move any props off to the side that you have. And then you're going to come onto your back into a plow pose. So you might need room if there's a wall or couch behind you. Your legs are going to go up and you're going to bring your hips up. Look straight up to the ceiling. So if you need to look, go ahead and look first and then come into the pose. Your legs are going overhead to the floor behind you. If your ponytail is in the way, make sure you move that. Good. Hands at your lower back. Unless your feet are on the ground behind you, then you can drop your hands. Good. Hold here. If this is not an option for you, then simply put a block or pillow or blanket underneath your sacrum and have your legs go vertical to the ceiling. If you're in your plow pose, drop your hands to the floor, facing the front of your mat. Use them as brakes to slowly roll out. If you're in Viparita Karani with your hips on a block or prop, go ahead and take them off. Come onto your back. Ananda Balasana, happy baby. So hold on to the edges of your feet. Have your knees go towards your mat. Feel free to rock a little bit side to side. Straighten a leg and the other. You can really embody the name of the pose, happy baby, and just move as you feel free to. Nice. One more breath here. Good. And then as you exhale, release your legs to the ground. We'll come into Shavasana, our final rest. Allow your legs to go towards the corners of the mat. Move your arms away from your body, not too far, just maybe 6 inches or so, with your palms facing upward. With your eyes closed, allow the weight of your head to fall to the mat, the weight of your shoulders, of your chest, and your torso to fall towards the mat. Allow the weight of your low back and your hips, your thighs and your shins and your feet to fall towards the mat. There's nothing to achieve here, nothing to go further, nothing to stretch, nothing to strengthen, nothing to analyze or reflect on. Instead, I invite you to release what you just did, your whole practice. Allow your mind to be, allow your body to be, and allow your breath to just be.
And keep your body still and take a nice easy breath in and out. Slowly start to bend your knees as you bring your feet flat to the ground. Keep your eyes closed, roll to your right side. And then press yourself all the way up to seated, facing the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Gather up your whole practice, bring it down to your chest center so that you can take it with you and so that you can share it with someone else. Bring your thumbs to your forehead center. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for being here tonight, for today, whenever you watch this, and for continuing your practice. Wonderful work, everyone. Thank you so much. You can open your eyes. I hope you guys had a lovely practice. Just no frills, easy flow, steady flow, lots of breath. Maybe not easy, but challenging enough. Thanks, guys.